Legal experts who specialize in extradition and human rights law are pointing to a very specific clause in a 2014 international treaty that many people have overlooked. This clause could complicate the extradition defense significantly. Let's break down why this matters for Biafrans everywhere. Typically, political figures are protected from extradition if the alleged crimes are purely political. However, this specific treaty narrows that definition, excluding actions that can be linked to regional instability. The battle in the courtroom right now is over how to categorize the broadcasts and orders coming from the leadership. Is it political advocacy, or does it cross the line into the territory defined by this treaty? The answer to that question will determine the success of the entire appeal. We often hear about the political side of the struggle, the rallies, the sit-at-homes, and the international lobbying. But in a court of law, the technicalities of procedural standing are where these cases are often won or lost. Procedural standing refers to whether a person or group has the legal right to bring a case to court in the first place. The prosecution is currently challenging the standing of the legal team, arguing that certain filings were made outside of the strict window allowed by the court. It sounds like a minor detail, but in high-stakes international litigation, missing a deadline by even a few hours can result in a total dismissal. Beyond the deadlines, there is a silent battle happening over which documents are actually admissible in court. This is the discovery phase of the legal process, and it is where the real drama is hidden. The defense wants to introduce evidence regarding the treatment of Biafrans on the ground to show that the appeal is a matter of life and death. The prosecution, however, is fighting to keep those documents out, arguing they are irrelevant to the specific legal points of the appeal. Without these key pieces of evidence to provide context, the appeal loses its moral and factual foundation. It becomes a dry, technical argument rather than a human rights case. Let's look closer at the prosecution's strategy. They are relying heavily on a precedent set in a 2019 case involving a different separatist movement in Eastern Europe. Many legal analysts didn't expect to see this case cited in a Biafran context, but the parallels the prosecution is drawing are alarming. They are trying to show that when a leader in exile influences events in their home country, they can be held to a different standard of legal accountability. Here is how Ekpa's team is trying to counter it. They are arguing that the 2019 case was fundamentally different because it didn't involve a recognized struggle for self-determination. They are trying to carve out a unique legal space for the Biafran movement, one that honors the historical context of the 1960s and the ongoing grievances of the people. Now, this gets a bit technical, but stay with me, because this one detail could change everything for the Biafran struggle. There is a concept in law called sovereign immunity that sometimes extends to political leaders. The defense is exploring whether this can be applied here. If they can prove that the actions in question were performed in an official capacity for a recognized political entity, it might provide a layer of protection. However, the court's willingness to recognize a non-state entity's official capacity is extremely low. This is the tightrope the legal team is currently walking. Wait, it gets even more complex. Just as the defense thought they had a clear path forward, a new filing appeared last week that changed the timeline entirely. This filing introduces newly discovered information from a third-party state that has stayed neutral until now. We don't know the full contents of this filing yet, as it is currently under seal. But its mere existence has caused the court to push back the next hearing date. For Biafrans waiting for news, this is another frustrating delay, but it could also be a blessing in disguise if the information favors the defense. Think the legal process is straightforward? Think again. This next obstacle is something almost no one is talking about right now: the cost of international litigation. These cases require millions of dollars in legal fees, expert witnesses, and travel. There is a quiet concern that the prosecution is trying to outspend the defense, dragging the case out until the resources are depleted. This is why the unity of Biafrans in supporting the legal fund is more critical now than ever before. It isn't just a battle of wits in the courtroom. It's a battle of endurance. For the Biafrans watching this video, these legal details aren't just dry paperwork or boring court procedures. They represent the future strategy of the entire leadership and the movement itself. If the legal team can successfully navigate these hidden obstacles, it sets a precedent that could be used for other leaders and activists within the movement. It would be a massive validation of the struggle on the global stage. It would show that the Biafran cause cannot be simply dismissed as a domestic issue, but is a matter of international legal significance. However, we must also be realistic. If these obstacles aren't cleared, the ripple effect will be felt far beyond the courtroom. A loss on a technicality like jurisdiction or standing would be a blow to morale and could embolden those who wish to see the movement fail. It's about the legitimacy of the process itself for all Biafrans. The world is watching how this case is handled. Is it a fair trial based on the merits, or is it a political maneuver disguised as a legal proceeding? The way the court handles these hidden obstacles will give us the answer to that question. As we move forward, we have to keep our eyes on the upcoming hearing in October. That is when the judges are expected to rule on the admissibility of the evidence we discussed earlier. If the defense wins that motion, the entire momentum of the case shifts. We could see a much more aggressive defense strategy that puts the prosecution on its heels. But until then, we must remain vigilant and informed. Don't be distracted by the rumors you see on social media. Look at the filings, listen to the experts, and understand the law. The road ahead for Simon Ekpa's appeal is far from clear. It is a path filled with traps, technicalities, and powerful opposition. But knowledge is power. By understanding these obstacles, Biafrans can better support the movement and stay prepared for whatever the outcome may be. Based on the legal hurdles we've broken down today, do you think the legal team has what it takes to overcome these challenges? Or do you believe the system is too heavily weighted against the movement? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. We will be tracking every new document, every court date, and every secret filing. The legal battle for Biafra is just as important as the one happening in the streets and in the diplomatic halls of the world. To stay updated on the legal side of the Biafran pursuit and to get the analysis you won't find anywhere else, make sure you're subscribed to Biafra Daily. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a critical update on this case. Thank you for watching and stay focused on the goal.